Hello everyone, welcome back, and tomorrow is El Clasico, Barcelona against Real Madrid, and for Barcelona, ultimately, this decides if Barcelona are still in the title race, and, La Liga, it seems like a far stretch, to be honest. It doesn't seem likely that Barcelona are going to be able to win the title, but there's still a competition to be fighting for, so Barcelona, of course, they're going to try and get a win tomorrow, and I hope Barcelona, they have a great performance. And I said in my last video, I think the energy levels, it's going to be dependent on how Barcelona can bounce back, because obviously after a loss like that in that fashion against PSG in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, that's unlucky for Barcelona, and it depends on how the team is going to be able to bounce back from that, and you hope that the energy levels tomorrow are very high, and they're all professionals, they all want to win, and this is obviously a big rivalry, so Barcelona, I think they're going to be at their best tomorrow, and I hope they put up a really good performance against a really strong Real Madrid team. And for Real Madrid, they're just coming off a historic win against Man City to get them into the semis. And some people have talked about that Real Madrid performance, and they said that they parked the bus, they just defended the entire game. They just got lucky. I don't think that's the case, to be honest. And as Xavi said, in this sport, yes, there is some luck to it, but there's also hard work. And I think that's what Real Madrid had. They had a great performance defensively. And I don't think anyone can go 50-50 with City. So I just don't understand Real Madrid, people coming at Real Madrid for the tactics that they had, because, ultimately they're in the semifinals, and if Barcelona would have been able to put their head down, not make any mistakes, not slip up, and play a perfect game defensively, they would also be into the semifinals. So I don't think there's any reason to slander Real Madrid for what they did in that game against City. Obviously, it was a huge win for them, and they deserve to go to the semis because they put up a good performance, and in the end, it's who gets to the semifinals. It's not about what happens. In the Champions League, it's small margins, and Real Madrid, they didn't mess up. They played well, and yeah, they're into the semifinals. Barcelona is not. So obviously there's going to be I think, a different level of energy, possibly, but I hope for Barcelona's case it's not. I hope they match Real Madrid very well, and yeah, I hope tomorrow is a really good game. For Barcelona, it will be nice to have Christensen back into the starting lineup, and I have a feeling that he will be starting tomorrow. I was really confused why he didn't start in the first leg against PSG, but I think Barcelona's best form has been when he has stepped into the midfield, so I have a feeling in tomorrow's game he will be playing there. I could see possibly Xavi playing with 4 midfielders. I hope that he doesn't. I think Rafinha deserves a start after the performances that he's had, and Lamine Yamal is great on the right side. So I have a feeling those two will be starting. So yeah, actually scrap what I said. I don't think he will be playing with 4 midfielders. I think it'll be 3 midfielders, and one of them hopefully would be Andreas Christensen, starting as a defensive midfielder for Barcelona. And for the defense, I'm fairly confident it's going to remain the same. It's going to be Ter Stegen, and then Koundé, Araujo, Cubarsí, and then also João Cancelo on the left. And some people were really harsh against Cancelo on social media, and unfortunately that's just social media today. It's really sad, to be honest, how people can go out of their way and just say things about Cancelo's family members. I mean, to be honest, that is horrible, and I think we all care a lot about the sport, but that was terrible to see, to be honest, and no player deserves that at all. And yeah, I mean, that's just really upsetting for Barcelona fans to go and do that. And for Araujo and the rest of the team, I think this is a big test for the mentality that they have, because after coming off a defeat that was that heavy, a lot of negative emotions around that game, because you just felt like it was in Barcelona's hands, to let it slip in that way, that's obviously, that's going to be difficult for the team to kind of accept and move forward from. But that's what Barcelona have to do. They have to realize that was in the past. Tomorrow is a new game. And I hope for Araujo and the rest of the team, they acknowledge how big of a game this is. And Barcelona, I don't think they're going to come out there like sulking in their loss. I think they're going to be there to play. And because, the big clubs, the mentality that they have to have is, it doesn't matter what happens in the last game. You have to look at every single game as a new opportunity to prove yourself and progress as a club. So I think that's what Barcelona and Ronald Araujo, they're going to do tomorrow. And then moving into the midfield, like I said, Christensen will most likely be starting as a defensive midfielder. But then who are the 2 midfielders that are going to be alongside him? I would think one is automatically going to be Okay Gundogan, because every single game that he's healthy, he's going to be starting and playing for Barcelona. He's been such a crucial part of the good that Barcelona has been this season. And then to partner him, I think it would be Gundogan. I feel like Pedri might be sitting, and like we talked about before the game against PSG, it would be nice to have Pedri come off the bench and be fresh against, somewhat tired legs. But I could also completely understand him starting, but I just have a feeling that it's going to be 3 midfielders, because Rafinha and Lamine Yamal are going to be starting on either wing. So, I could see Frankie de Jong sitting because he also just came back from injury. He's played a lot recently. So, yeah, maybe I could see Pedri starting in place of him. But to me, I think it would probably be Christensen, Gundogan, and Frankie de Jong. I feel like Frankie de Jong, he's always starting in these Clásicos. And, you want to maintain control. You want to maintain the tempo of the game. So I feel like Frankie de Jong would be there. But if Pedri starts in front of Frankie de Jong, I'm completely fine with that. I would just like to see, Pedri, I think he can add a spark from the bench. So I wouldn't mind him not starting in this game. But like I said, Pedri is one of my favorite players in the world. I would definitely not mind him starting. And, Xavi, I think, knows best. And then the front three, like I said, it's going to have to be Rafinha on the left, and then Lamine Yamal on the right, and then Lewandowski up top. And, a lot of people were slandering Lewandowski for that performance against PSG in the second leg. I mean, it was so good in the first leg, and I just think it's hard to judge someone being a man down, but that effort that he put in to try and stop that Vitinha shot, it was not good enough. That's really unfortunate to see, to be honest. You would expect someone, as with the resume that Lewandowski has, that he would be doing much more in that situation. And, that time he was very selfish in a 3v2, two defenders in front of him, João Felix on the left, so wide open, shoots it directly at two defenders. Anyways, I'm not going to talk too much about the PSG game. It's, obviously still Barcelona fans feel a little bit frustrated about it because so many different things could have went differently. But Lewandowski, you do have a feeling he's going to be starting tomorrow. So the front three, I think, is going to be Rafinha on the left, Lewandowski in the middle, and then Lamine Yamal on the right. And then at some point in the game, we're probably going to see João Felix. We're going to see Ferran Torres, probably Sergio Roberto, maybe Fermin Lopez. Depending if Pedri starts, he would come on at some point, of course. So there are some impact subs off the bench. It would be nice to see Vitor Roque even getting some minutes in this game, depending on if Lewandowski is able to really find a way to impact the game. But we'll see how it goes. I think a lot of Barcelona fans, they're still worried about that defeat against PSG, but you can't think like that. There's still a trophy to be won. It does look unlikely, I'll be completely honest. It looks like a reach for Barcelona to go and win it, and I think Real Madrid, for this entire season in La Liga, they have been the better team. But it's up for grabs, and if Barcelona can get a win in this game, it'd obviously be such an important turning point in the season. And I hope Barcelona can have a great performance tomorrow. I feel like sometimes after these heavy losses in the Champions League, they look a little bit slow and sluggish, but that's against regular teams in La Liga. It's not a Clasico, so I think this will have a different feeling for Barcelona. I hope they come out to play, of course, and hope they try and compete. And they know that, a tie doesn't really do that much in the title race. I hope Barcelona go for a win, and I think Real Madrid are going to be doing the same. It's a Clasico. No one really wants to tie, so I'm expecting a really exciting game tomorrow, and I hope Barcelona, they play at their best. And I think given the starting lineup, given the players that they have available, I think they are able to put up a great performance tomorrow. And thank you very much for watching my video. I'm really excited for the game tomorrow. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and as always, thank you very much for all the support and watching the videos. I really do love talking about everything around Barcelona, so hope you all have a great rest of your day. Hope you all have a great weekend, and thank you very much. Visca Barca, peace.